you see this ballpark for both teams?
It's going to be an interesting one because
right, FUT on defense, Vitality on attack.
Well, initially
Nothing crazy on the pistols.
Vitality, but they now have a different player in the mix.
My Brim's taking
already.
My Brim's taking first contact.
Looking to try and get in their face as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Manages to get that opener onto Captain.
He's found himself an opening, and they're looking to crunch on it, but a big play by FUT, wrapping themselves around. They've made it to the south side as Zeus picks up a triple. This round has quickly fallen into FUT's hands, and now with just one player left to fall, it is the new gun.
Okay, nicely done. I mean, instant reaction was just pushed behind with the neon as well, and I don't know, I'd love to see the POV. It looked like it didn't really react to what was going on.
Terrifying thing to happen in the first round. Like, this guy has been an absolute
kill.
highlight, which I think you have to also talk about expectations for the teams overall. Like, Vitality built a super team, got top 4 at Masters, and right now are looking vulnerable. Sorry, had to pause for a second for the screams. And then you look at FUT, they were a squad that last year and the year before
last round, yeah, looks like a bit of a struggle for the comms here, but still good.
They've added in Zeus, who's been their best player, and they're right down there, potentially not making either of the Masters to kick off the year.
For FUT, 1-0, Vitality, Sivov, a big name that's been added to the server, is someone that we had doubts about, you know, in terms of facing off against the top-tier competition, and I think this is going to be one of his greatest tasks, not just FUT as a squad, but with elimination on the line,
around the map, picking up orbs,
definitely going to be a team that steps up to the plate in a big way, already finding their opening with a 1-0 start. The attackers, well, they've gone for a light buy. It's just going to be classics and moseying on towards the B site. They hope that numbers can be the difference for them as they pick up these orbs and look for any sort of advantageous fight. But nothing's being offered up.
One of the things with FUT that I think it's
the moments you dream of.
For Vitality. It could be what kick-starts them back into the tournament.
No
You're playing
armors.
against a team that a lot of the time works off fundamentals, very aggressive in the way that they play. So maybe that boosts Vitality's confidence getting those individual fights. Or they're going to slam you into the ground. Like, they are a team of 50-50s, it seems, all the way through the matchup, and they'll really put to a test. Wow, what set up they are! Okay, Zeus, just looking for some stuff.
Okay, there we go. It took a while for the payoff there, but it happened eventually.
SSX tricky with it.
I like the idea there from Safe, sending in the salvos to
Neon
try to put
one away.
on the back foot, put him out
this is interesting as well. Insta throw the gun to someone else, pick up a rifle, and it's looking like they're going to do some kind of flash play, I guess. Again, the best flash play for this comp, I'm pretty sure, is over towards Arcade. So they should be ready for that. Jesus, Symmetry, what?
Does he know it has a scope?
I think
100.
He might, but he didn't need it right there.
Symmetry. What? You went for 100? That's nuts. Hey, chat, you know what to do. Get the slug oil spam going. Dude, you went for 100, bro. That's insanity. Everyone at Symmetry say thank you as well, especially if you got gifted. I know 100 of you did. Jesus, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Vandal that they had in this round, still pushing though. The defensive side looking to try and pincer in from behind.
And then he ends it with a choo-choo paper X.
In front of them.
Symmetry, thank you for that, man.
Have the attack boxed in, but that kill onto Cracks open things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of weaknesses for FUT. Losing those open.
Dude, with 100 gifted, you should see the seat that I got you on the train. Incredible.
Crunch rather towards Arcade. Last is having none of it, cleaning up the kills before he meets Yedije. But a 1 versus 4, an ace clutch needed, and really, I guess the question of damage is always going to be there in a round like this. But carrying that Bulldog through to the next could give them some opportunities, or even that reposition to catch them off as they exit. Yeah,
that's class, yeah, it's a brand new class
just for you. The goal of players in this situation.
I can assume there's no real reason for him to hold on to the gun, because if he dies, he'll get himself a Vandal in the next round, or Phantom.
You know, yeah, Mini comes out serving you food as well.
It's whether or not he can catch anyone on the way out. Unfortunately, they're now running directly towards where he was previously seen, so his last position.
Schaefer's as well, thank you so much for the primate, I appreciate that. And Web Devon as well for the gifted, thank you for that also, mate.
But a couple of players watching, he'll take one.
Telemetry again, man. Thank you so much, dude. It's a wild amount, bro. I do appreciate you.
They'll keep 3 guns forward to look into the next round.
Yeah, if
Somebody gifted to stream in a maid costume, mate. You've been watching way too much Celsius.
As well. It's a decent opportunity created by Yedege in the late round.
That's not just a normal thing, bro. Like people don't normally go for that. He's just that guy. Moritz with the prime, thanks so much for the 10 months also. I appreciate that.
Move around the map without too much of an issue. But this round will be a different story because we saw those weaknesses. We saw the disadvantages in a lot of those fights, the ghosts in play.
Big buy rounds. Oh, did we just get a little tech pause?
On a round like that. This one,
yeah, we got a little tech pause here.
When we eventually get there, will be a little bit different, but I'm not seeing a lot of movement.
Yeah.
They're chilling, vibing, floating away. One of the things I want to talk about a little bit more with this compositional change is the last time we saw Fracture play by Vitality was actually less playing a Brimstone. Now that, for me, is the least less agent on the planet, because you want this guy in the backline, you want this guy lurking around different aspects of the map. When you play Brimstone, you have to be within a certain position.
Black chat's pickums.
Don't do it.
Wait, they might be all right at the moment.
No, don't.
It's going to happen, Tom. Whether you like it or not.
I think it might actually be going all right.
Can we just leave the color scheme?
Who do we have for this one? Vitality.
I just don't like the red. It gives me nightmares. But yeah, I think I want to see him and how he's going to play on this Cypher, because firstly, it's last we know he's pretty
Congratulations, against
but it puts him in a different role completely.
Can't wait for the new episode. The thing is, dude, I would have given everyone a C, but they're just too stubborn.
Before was actually Trex, which when Trex was on the team, that's not normally.
We had a C on the roof for Sideshow, but he's just way too stubborn, man.
Slightly better with the roles, which
Mango Freeze, thank you so much for the 5 gifted as well, bro. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
I think things will be nicely set up. I'm actually watching the countdown continue to tick, but I'm assuming that's just because this whole round is playing out.
Yeah, they're going to
will be a reset. No damage, don't you worry. Now, we spoke about Fracture a little bit to start off. You said you wanted to talk about Vitality's defense, but obviously having not played at this stage and with a new player in, you never really know how things are going to shape up. Looking at FUT, on the other hand, we know that their defense is good. We're expecting a lot of rounds to come out of them.
You have to come check what shirt I was wearing.
When it comes to the series overall, though, I wanted to touch on that.
That's a crazy fast message.
Next and Ascent to close us out.
That shirt is not cast.
Is giving either team an advantage overall? Has anyone
won the veto? It's just an unlucky.
I mean, it's
like really unlucky.
Must have been a known factor.
3 times
when I was sort of drafting my own veto, I was thinking that maybe FUT would actually ban it, because FUT are normally a team that likes to target ban. It's like, okay, we'll take away one of your better maps, especially if it's a weaker one, which Split has been for them. The fact it's in the pool makes me think that they have plans. They have something that they're going to try and counter on the side of Vitality, but Split has been a pretty decent map.
In Plat Chat also, yeah, Plat Chat stream also started going down when I was wearing it.
I think that both sides I have winning their own map choice, which I'll be honest with what we've seen in EMEA recently has been rare. And then Ascent, you know, Mitch, you're asking me about Ascent. Do you remember the last time FUT played Ascent?
It's carved out about a whole day in my memory. So yeah, it's kind of hard to forget that one. 25 to 23.
They've had a lot of practice, is what I'll say.
There's a lot of tape.
They're also running the, well, yeah, but they're running the cookie cutter comp anyway, the most basic Ascent comp we've ever seen. So I don't think that's going to be the game changer. The thing for me was that Zeus was really quiet in that series versus BBR. I don't know if that'll be possible for Vitality to do. This guy is already 7 and well, it says 1, but that, wait, no, he did die. He did die.
He ran underneath.
Yeah, they re-rolled back the rounds. I mean, nothing happened though.
Right away, it was a little
crazy.
As in,
it starts at 2-1.
Just to let you know at home, the re-roll done, the round re-roll that's happening. You're seeing it down the bottom of your screens. Don't panic. It is still 2-1. It's just the round that we saw kind of.
We're checking their inventory. We're looking at their skins.
Yeah, checking out their inventory. Hey,
is someone using the straight
I just said Paper X only won because DRX chokes. Dude, I said he would say something like this. He's gonna have an excuse ready for every single person they beat. I said he would say something about pistols or they didn't play well.
Played out will maintain just to alleviate any of your anxiety around that. But yeah, so
chat, when was the last time you heard Sideshow compliment a team? That's something we have to look at.
No, I think that we have ended in a middle ground.
There wasn't an America's team, let's say that.
Amount of Ascent from Vitality, but when we did,
XLG?
Kind of
oh yeah, no, you got me there, fair play.
So I can't say I learned masses from it. I think that it looks good for them in terms of
I can't,
the roles. I
you can't just list loads of America's teams once I said without including America's teams.
Individually, obviously the Breach, I think he's solid at the setup, but it allows him to have that little bit of extra flair. And then yeah, I've seen 48 rounds of FUT playing Ascent, so I know they can win rounds, I know they can lose rounds, but whether or not they'll come out on top at the end, I don't know. But I do expect from the Veto that we'll get to a third map. The only, I guess the question for me will be like, Fracture, obviously the element of the unknown comes in for Vitality because we just haven't seen them really play it since they played T1 in the first Masters, so they kind of avoided it for the entirety of this stage.
That's true, Theo. I should have let you go with that.
We saw from FUT on it throughout this stage.
Nah, I think he has done a couple of them.
Very close on again. Always went to OT. So
that's probably like 1 in 10.
There's opportunities here if Vitality have like a little bit more up their sleeve, which with some of the comp changes, maybe they do.
Well, before we get back into the game, as we may have a moment or two left, let's take a look at what Kix had to say ahead of today's match.
There's a difference between playoffs and regular season. For us, what it's been so far is
come to Toronto. Dude, if they ask me to come to Toronto, I'll go.
And we had to take a step back and take a more fundamental approach. We feel a lot more confident again. We feel like we're on a better path.
Dad, do I get copyright strike for this song?
Development on just like the basics and then moving on to the more complex things, I think that will be right in time to be in our best shape for playoffs. It's pretty important now. Like when I got to my first international last year when it was champs in Korea, like that feeling was kind of surreal.
Governor's up and over as well with the TP. That's a reveal. Well, to save, they still want to take this fight straight up into their face. Trex decided not to break it, waiting for reinforcements first. Right out through here, trying to take point and contact. Still kicks. You cannot be dominating this. My God, a 6-piece available, and here and now. Goodness me!
But I wasn't really.
Sinks, thank you so much for the prime.
Appreciate
the 2 months.
After winning kickoff,
happy train day. Thank
it
you,
was the same feeling, but this time I really felt like I wanted to be there, and it's kind of like this point now where I really want to go to every international, like just chasing that feeling that, you know, when you qualify and like going to a different country to play against the best teams in the world, like that feeling is the best for me.
To make it back to that stage, there's going to be a bit of a grind.
They just played it a little bit louder just to ensure that I did get copyright striked.
Fairly shortly as the reroll's been done, and they are just
the VOD survived?
Everything
Hold up.
is okay on the server. Everything is as it was.
Let me blast it 2 times loud.
To remind people who might be joining us just now, it's been a lights-out start from Zeus. He had a crazy play coming in with the Marshall. Excited to see how much more
lights out then knockdown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he ran headfirst into a brick wall down in the underpass. Durka was waiting for him, and I think that's going to be a great battle to watch unfold because
I think the problem with Vitality is vibes. I think there's a lot more to it than just vibes.
Some of the games, he's still been there. It's just the reality.
The thing to look out for in this game is like, do they have instant decision making with their ults? Because if they still don't have ult rounds, it's done.
Pushing on that 30 mark. Just like you.
Like when I watch them a lot of the time, so sometimes I think they have some weird stuff with their comps. Like if you're looking at
stage 2.
Like I think they, I don't know, I think they overreact when they lose games. Because I've seen that a few times where they then change their comp to a comp that doesn't make sense. I think they definitely overreact. And I think sometimes their pre-barrier calls are pretty bad.
He sits down on the stage.
But that could be, I mean, that's kind of everyone's fault, in my opinion.
The guy's probably going to be a menace.
Coach and IGL take a good amount of that, but
even though
everyone should at least have ideas of what they want to do with their role.
The reason that we find FUT in this current position is because some of the other players haven't. Like, I don't think Yedoje has had anywhere near the peak that we saw from last year. I think at times, like, Ada Captain has gone a little bit of a miss, and I've mostly been looking at the likes of Zeus and Mr. Fallen and a 50-50 coin toss of whether we get cracks.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, for me, is like, okay, Sure, there's definitely been some vulnerabilities on the Vitality side. I think coming back after Masters, they didn't look as good. I think teams have maybe figured them out.
I got a question.
If
there's any OBS knowers?
Although maybe didn't
right, I'm recording a VOD, yeah? And then it has the pause next to it. If I pause, does it just erase everything that was going on and then I can resume it? I've never tried it before. I could literally pause when we get a tech pause.
They've had a little bit of extra time coming into the playoffs. Even like the thing is, their position in my eyes is better than FUT's because you got to watch
why is there a
them
pause
play
button
and now
next to
get
it?
to play them. Like it's a decent position. Obviously, it's one match and you're out. It's risky, but Durka safe.
Just pause it, nothing gets erased. So I could technically get rid of the tech pauses on my own and just pause it.
And he's been pretty good this season.
Yeah, he came in, he kicked the doors down, blew him off the hinges. We're back into the game. Barriers are up, and we're
okay, let's
seeing
get
a
into
lot
this
more
one.
movement than
I'll look
last
back
time.
in
That's
chat a
a
little
good
bit.
sign. Vitality
Flash to
grouped up.
secure the
Remember,
ball
he's
at the
cleared
top
the
side.
whole north side
And
within
5%
15
insta
seconds.
reaction once they know that they've probably cleared this. And they got to send it for a smoke. Oh, they could.
Down and out, suppressed his Yedege, but he fires back some bullets to
How many
suppress
smokes
his
did they
enemies.
use?
A molly that delays,
Okay,
and
good
they
news
won't
is
be
they're
able to
playing
execute off
a
that utility forward.
Neon,
Looks
so
like
they
Vitality
can
are trying to find another
kind of
approach,
chill
and
out a little
Seaval
bit and re-head
opens
over
that
towards a
avenue.
different site or same site.
Well, the thing is, FUT knew almost exactly where they were, but it still seemed like Mr. Fallen was caught off guard by that. They're going to try and re-aggress off the back of the stun. The shot's
Good
not
flash.
quite connecting. A solid counter flash thrown out by the attack side, and now they look to wrap back in, still having that additional information. Yedege though, Zeus spraying through, still trying to get through that same choke point
Yeah,
that they were
just
stopped at initially. Vitality
keep
has
trying to
scored.
force through
That's
this.
exactly why they wanted to go so quickly when they saw his utility was down. That cage causes so many problems. Combine that with the fact that
Yes,
he's
you've used
using
it
a
for that.
phantom.
Oh, I can
You
use
can't
this in the
see
future, then I
tracers,
should do that.
And he is firing on all cylinders.
Goose,
with that
hello, mate.
utility now in play, the camera watching for the walkouts on A, and no more steps.
Goose, I
The
never know
complete
if what you're
freeze
saying is
from
true, but
Vitality, at
I'll
least
give
from
you a happy
FUT's
birthday
perspective.
anyway.
They make the rotation you just highlighted, Tom.
Good 50% chance
other
of the
than
lie, though.
Yedege is waiting on this B side of the map with cracks sneaking down below. This is a powerful setup.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time
Nice
either.
shot.
Spike already dropped onto the ground, and it's left all onto Seaval. Zeus already putting that first nail in the coffin, but even just surviving here is going to be nigh on impossible. The spike plant will go down at least, but you are
maybe.
boxed into a corner, trapped with your opponents standing in line.
Yeah,
You
this
need
is
both
nice.
shots
Just double
immediately,
line on
and you
that.
won't even get one. FUT with a fantastic defensive round and an immediate response.
I mean, they
Many a player would have
just
panicked
got
there in
wrecked
that
by the
3v1.
one
Ran in
smoke,
to try to
really.
end the round
They
on
kind of
time
just
and
got
given
wrecked
him
by
an
Atra on
opportunity,
his
but they
own.
wait
One smoke
patiently,
molly came
knowing
in.
he's trapped in the corner.
Most of
There
their
was no
util
way
used
out.
couldn't
Nice opening by
couldn't
Seaval,
send
but
it.
once this util came back online, look at the trouble
Yeah,
they're
and then they
facing.
tried to send it, but they didn't
Thinking those
use the
smokes coulda
wall to
helped
get
them
out. They
but
kind of
not
just
a
crept around the
chance when
side, but
Yedege is
even though they knew
waiting.
the cage was
And
there.
that's how confident they are in him to lock down that side of the map that they send everybody else running
Thank you for that,
away.
Goose. Thank
Waiting
you.
for that rotation that came
Ash
through.
Tail with the
Vitality
Prime.
being
Thank you for
red
the 5
in
months
this
as well,
round,
bro.
slowed
Appreciate
down by
that.
some of the
Dude, not
utility as
another
well.
one.
That's
Oh, not this
exactly
again.
what we like to
Surely
see.
not,
This
guys.
FUT get off to a good start, but it could be a
27.
slow start
27.
for the game.
27.
Oh, no.
Now I'm panicking.
Well, seems like we're chilling at least for a little bit. But yeah, I think that
Okay, it's all good.
the bit that's worrying me, I sort of
good.
mentioned the concept of the less lurk.
Yes.
He wasn't on the lurk last round. There was almost a very direct attempt being made
I need this.
by this attacking side.
Tanimal,
Because of
sorry
that,
to hear
Zeus
that,
was able
dude.
to clear out the full top side
Hope
of the
you're
map,
doing
and they
okay.
know they've been pushing. They spotted that in early rounds. They were looking to try and pincer in behind them. If they allow that much map control for FUT on this defense, they're going to get blasted. Like, they need to start catching some of these players. And while, Mitch, I'll be honest with you, this
What are you
isn't really
thinking?
the round for it.
Eco?
Their buy is
Eco into this one,
is.
then it's
It
going
is
to get to the
almost
point
a
where
good
there's so
start
many
with
good
some utility being
ults.
destroyed, the salvo
Okay,
sent out, but Yedege
it's a low
quickly
buy.
repositions his traps
Surely they don't
and will
start
still
using the
have full
ults until
control
low buy.
over on
Maybe
this
they
B
come up with
site
a plan to
because
make
they've
sure they
got
get a
him.
Neon ult.
You might even see the rotation from Cracks in the near future. Vitality making noise now towards that A site. Zeus, many a player would back off from here, but he wants to play aggressive through the smoke. Stun comes in.
Great stun.
A smoke
The,
as well from his
the
side
smokes
as they
at the
get
moment
aggressive. Atacaptain doing the same
causing
on Dish.
Vitality an absolute
Yeah,
nightmare.
it's a lot of aggro to put out there. And he's going to be forced back by the utility
Ooh,
sent in the
nice,
other
dude.
direction. Nice passive
Yeah, we've
volley.
been
That's gonna
working
stop
on
anyone
these.
from pursuing.
Make sure it's a good one.
getting a lot of info, getting a lot of space, but Vitality's goal so far has just been to garner as many orbs as possible. Durka one away from the overdrive, which is one of the few things that could realistically turn this round alongside that orbital strike, but it's how much do you want to commit with 35 seconds, no real information, and they're about to walk into that same Cypher setup, this time on B.
Yeah, I mean, it's J good for this. That's one.
Yetajay safely able to spray down his trap that was repositioned earlier. Nets in one with Durka falling. Now the fight in the open going just as well. Sure, he'll fall eventually, but limited time and even more limited weaponry remaining. This is a clean round from the side of
Yeah, it's looking nice at the moment.
I think so.
I wonder if Vitality actually need like a timeout, not a tech one. Carry 445 with the Prime. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you for doing that.
I no longer see the other guy right in front of me, but hey, they won their house.
Who's been the best performing player in Vitality?
Helped him out. Yeah, that was nice, and I think you see
I
as well.
would probably
it pops up assist too. It's just beautiful.
Kicks, to be honest.
He gets flanked out from heaven. Les is able to take him down. I think that would have happened either way. The reality is only losing that one player with the pressure Vitality put on there with that quick springboard into sight. That's fantastic.
You're talking about the whole year.
Dodges the stun, looks for the fight. That is Durka on the other side, but he's not deterred, and maybe he should have been. Plenty of players backing him up, and Zeus down. Captain looks to fill his boots, but boots are lead. They're sinking in this round.
It's all out aggression. They're literally just trying to stop Vitality before they can even get anywhere near any part of the map. And it does almost feel like Zeus has just been told to be disrespectful. Cracks it. Okay, he definitely wanted to.
Right.
He is going to. Straight through.
Yeah, I was just watching Les the whole time, anti-flash.
Completely blind, and it is 1v1 duels galore for this round. Every single fight being taken, and so far every single one being lost. It's only Yetajay standing.
Yeah, this is nicely handled. If Yetajay can get like one or two, then it's really good damage for him.
It's looking like he's going to attempt to do some damage here.
Okay, nothing extra on top. It's actually pretty nice for Vitality. Got two armory buys, one gun, and that's it.
Back off around a corner, and you decide to go one-by-one aggression into that angle. It's a mistake, and it plays out as exactly as you'd expect. Vitality feeling like their opponents just played into their hand. Sevov picking them off through the smoke, but he had the info from his teammates.
The thing is, they've done this every round, though. Like, it's worked.
I appreciate it.
2/3 of the time, which I wouldn't say it's the greatest way to play Valorant.
Okay, we got some ults.
I
want to see something
decisive. This
decisive.
is just like, let's just disrespect the hell out of them. Like, we just have the better players. Because just going back again, he's just swinging it, and had a captain alongside him. They're just dry peeking.
This makes a difference.
Dude, stun for stun.
Swing. Stuns traded out. Sevov gets close. He's so aggressive.
Oh boy, Atta put his ult into it as well. That's pretty rough. Maybe we're focusing on the wrong team for the ults.
Captain for nothing, all thanks to that reposition. Ults online for Vitality. How this isn't the round where they'll need them. Sevov is carrying them across the finish line in this one. And it's Yetajay with a stinger in a 1v3. If he can take a couple down, even force an ultimate out, that would be an ideal scenario. But there is no chance. Okay, if he made it around
I was going to say, if he made it around the corner, he has a chance to reload
he's
there.
Put to bed early.
Yeah, it is similar to the last round.
Okay, this wasn't just a low buy for FUT though, so
but it is still,
this should be the big round. We got some ults now.
Then the next person swings after. Oh, this was after already. The initial player was gone. But it is really just this super aggro defensive stuff.
Ults, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. They use their ults. The idea there from
Goose,
a
again,
weaker
so much,
buy coming out of FUT to see that panic from Captain in throwing it down, almost to use it as a smoke, deterring their aggression and allowing them to back out of this nasty position when they'd already used up their stun. But that didn't work out, and a huge investment for so little return in a round where you're already at a disadvantage. That's going to be something that's discussed during this timeout. This is called by FUT, of course, to correct the course, as Vitality are now just one round behind them.
Yeah,
Did observing make you a better player? Yeah. You're definitely like more aware of stuff. I think also just watching a lot of like of a game makes you want to play the game more. So I would appreciate the time that you play the game more. It hasn't worked for Prius, but it definitely works for other people.
For the first 20 seconds of the round, they're going to run at us. So let's just wait. Let's be patient. And they have already utilized some of those ultimates.
Vitality can make Toronto. No, they can go for a run here. They just got to show. They just got to show good form now.
Like you said, the same thing. Zeus getting aggressive north side, seeing nobody there and coming back. Right? They want that early aggression for information or for the fight. And now it's not working in either department. So Vitality forcing FUT
What's
to
their age
well,
ceiling for top
hopefully
players?
change their approach to this.
What's
We'll see if that's the case. As I
Zeus
do
is
look
about
at the
to
what is
barriers,
Angel at the moment? 35?
that man's gonna get aggressive.
I think Angel
If anything,
keeps
a lot
going
of
to
the
his
time
40.
It works better when he doesn't run into it.
I think it's up
Because then he
for
can reposition onto the
up
side
for
and play with the
debate.
rest of the team, and that is what's happened here. He's got A control, Mr. Fallen. They've had someone on this angle, I think 3 rounds in a row.
This is probably one of the better
I'm
games to
fully
do it.
expecting there to be some sort
IGLs
of
are pretty
flash
important
or
in this
nope,
game.
It's just going to be the dry peek. It will be able to fade away. Flash for Zeus. Safe immediately swaps off his utility. He was setting up salvos, but he knows there's going to be someone in this corner ready to try and fight him. And while Zeus is going to get both of them.
And dude,
Somehow
he's
he
just
still
cleared
makes it
all of the
work.
map control
They've
as
lost
well.
the site now. Plan can be acquired safe. Spike goes back towards that site. The smokes are down, but not for too much longer. The decision needs to be made.
Trying to find it.
That's a very open plan, but he's going to get it in. I mean, this is fantastic. Zeus super low HP if he can swing through and catch them off, but Les wasn't really sticking that fight. Yettage just on the other side.
Devastating.
That ultimate gets them info. They'll
Dude,
know
that's
exactly
devastating
where
as well.
these
They can
last
fast
two
go over
players
towards
are.
site.
They've got them boxed
Tap
in.
that spike
It's Yettage
early.
who's looking to
All
finish them off.
yes,
The
James
cam
to
for
do
the
is stay
info.
alive.
Hope that he can
All
catch
that,
Les
I
off.
guess.
Ability in from Kicks, he might be able to stop them, but it's already halfway. Time pressure is on, reload is heard, spam's coming through, and not quite landing, and the repeat gets them across the line with a sneaky
That was way
defuse.
closer than it needed to
Just
be.
as the
I
smoke
don't
was
think
fading,
Yettage needs to
it's
commit
5
there,
to
but
3.
Yeah, it's just aggro round again. I don't know how Zeus manages this. Just utter filth of his own individual brilliance. Sturker responds in form, and Les, honestly, he's been having a pretty decent start to this game. Back on that side for try as he might, but I think they got so focused in on working out where Zeus was and clearing him from A main that they kind of just then lost the entire site and had those smokes down on the diffuser. As you said, it was halved so quickly, it became very,
Who
very
can buy
difficult
next?
for
1,
Vitality
2.
from then on.
Yeah, just a
1,
little late
2,
getting
3.
that utility down, or I guess putting too much stock in the spams.
Should see the
Either
majority
way,
of ults into this.
result is the same.
Feel like
Round to their opposition.
this is dude. Vitality
looking for
lose
new
this one.
ground. It's towards the B
I
site,
mean,
but
it would have to be
as you
a
said, Tom, one
sick
of the
ult
successes
from
they've
Cracks,
had
you would imagine.
is when
They can
on
just
the side of FUT
spam
is when
this
Vitality go
util.
running into this setup. And now
Like, there
a
should
salvo
pretty much be no
destroys
way you
one
can
of the
play on
traps.
site.
Second though,
They
still
ult for
very much
heaven.
covering the walk
I
through.
think they're
Remote
trying
as
to
well.
bait the push.
The thing is, I would
Yeah,
honestly think for
know that
Vitality
at this
right now
point,
that they're playing off
every
site. I
single
think it's
round
pretty
they've
bold
made
that
any
FUT are playing
presence
over
known
towards
on the map.
heaven.
Zeus has gone pushing, so they've got Sivov watching the backline. They've got Les trying to lurk around for the top of the map, but this time FUT
Like
are
with
actually
this setup,
sitting a little bit
FUT
more
are pretty
pretty.
much.
Okay, they will spot out Zeus still
I don't want to say it's
within A main,
disrespectful,
but because of that,
but
he's forced
I'm looking
back.
at this setup
The
from
only thing
FUT
they
thinking this
haven't
is
spotted out is
disrespectful.
still
They
this
think they're not
B
going to ult
aggression.
heaven.
A little bit further forward towards Arcade, which is a pretty nasty double trap if they go in that direction.
That's flashes burned up by Cracks just to
they
enable
didn't ult
Zeus to
heaven.
keep this position inside of A main. Not going to be available for the retake to play through those smokes as we've seen plenty of times before. Late play by Les. He's been spotted though, and now they're coming back to this two-man setup. The high-low grabs the kill, and now a huge advantage for FUT. Kicks and safe. In fact, just
They
safe.
didn't
Last
get any
alive.
kills.
The spike
Come on, man,
down
at least
up
give him one
above.
kill.
He needs
Oh,
everything
they're.
to work out in his
I mean, it
favor,
makes
and
sense, right?
nothing
It
after
does
the
make
first
sense. Because of the pressure of the ults, they think that they won't play over towards heaven, because why would you play heaven against a tail ult? You're pretty much dead.
Really love
But then
this
they
setup
play
from FUT.
heaven.
I think realizing what ults are on the other side,
And so
you know that
you use your ult,
opponents have that opportunity
thinking that they
to
won't be heaven, and you go over
Armageddon,
towards
which if you're
kitchen,
playing
and
anywhere-
they're just chilling in
Anywhere
heaven.
near the site, you're going to get cleared. You're playing any of those close lanes, you're going to get cleared. So what
So,
do? They take Arcade. No one's going to
again,
ult Arcade. Like,
I
that's a
think
really weird spot to
Vitality
hold.
just
But
need
then
to
you have
keep
cross
it
on anyone on
really,
the site,
really
and that's
simple.
exactly where our captain is watching.
Because
They
like the
managed to
actual
hold
call
onto
is
all of
smart,
those
but
positions,
I
and
think Vitality just haven't
Vitality
shown that
caught
they
off
actually
by
do
Warriors. A bit of an
good stuff with the ults in
position.
general. So
Look at
maybe
Zeus
FUT
again.
just
He's just running it down.
Big north side play. They've got
It's
South
like,
to be covered in by the trap, but this means
let
one
them
less for
prove
Yettage
that they're
to play
actually
off
smart
of on
enough
the
to do
side,
the
and
normal stuff
pressure
fast
is on him. A lot of
before we
weaker
give him any
weapons here
kind of
for
respect.
Vitality as they get aggressive. Ult popped by Durka, an opportunity
Yeah, it's a
to
nice send from
really
Durka
turn
over
this
towards
back in their
spawn.
favor as they've pressured the weaker side. And
Durka.
FUT left into a
That's
very
that's
disadvantageous
mental.
spot.
But
A
fair
1
play, he did
versus
great.
5. Mr. Fallen grabs the first. With 4 more to go and the spike very much planted. It's not looking too likely that he takes this across the line. Now, they don't need the money for the next round, but there's a few more to play for. It looks like the decision might be to carry this one through to bolster that economy. A great response from Vitality.
Especially from Dish. Like, you basically have to jump into your opponent's angles. Like, the chances of even doing damage are slim unless you just wait for them to exit on the round. It's the same sort of attempt, though, from FUT. They, again, like, go for that aggressive push on towards that north side, but I like the fact that this time Vitality just react. They go, okay, you're going to run it down onto us. That means you've got at least a couple of players trying to push and hold on to these positions.
I mean,
We're
this is
just
like a
gonna take
popular
it
one
towards
with
Dish,
the
'cause
Neon.
guess what? We know who's not there. Zeus.
And it's also
Okay,
so
Cyber's
frequently
been
we're seeing
sitting on his ult
this
for
play.
way too long.
If you look at the last
These are big
round
rounds.
for Vitality and
This
how
has
they
to be the
approached
time to use it.
Probably FUT's aggression would have worked against that. They had players spread out. They would have been isolated in a 3vx fight, and that north side crunch would have either gotten them info into a slow play that they could then adjust and rotate into, or gotten them fights that were very advantageous for them. Instead, they go for this aggressive play when Vitality have adapted to play as a unit, to be more direct, and put the pressure on what happened to be the much lighter side of the map. A great adjustment from that attacking side, using everything, every disadvantage to their advantage.
Ooh, I like that though.
Now we come into round 11.
That plays pretty nice.
2 more to play for.
Flash goes
Vitality
over towards
still
main,
with a chance
opens
to
the
tie
door,
things up
and
before we
pops in
exit
front
this
of the
half.
box so you can swing.
And if we can go off their previous form at Masters, as we mentioned, the defensive side is where they thrived, but it's a different look roster.
The door opening's sick because you then kind of
in a
look
different comp.
waiting for a swing, but it's actually a flash.
Camera taken out.
Now, though, pressure being put onto Yedaje once again, a completely different position from at a captain. But his teammate is going to end up isolated. For Yedaje, this has been enough a lot of the time. The spam through the smoke doesn't
Yeah,
quite
there's
connect.
one kill
and
trip on site though.
It's Mr. Fallen that's taken the majority of the damage so far.
This kill trip gives them a good amount of
Another will be
info.
committed from
Fast
FUT.
ult goes.
They really want this round, and understandably,
tunnel
but put them
vision a
with a leg
little
up at
bit.
the half, no matter
Yesterday
what happens
pushes
next.
through the
But
smoke as
Seavol's
everyone
put
else goes
Yedaje in the
sight.
dirt.
I think he probably
Made it
should
to
have
the
stuck
side
with his
at
team
least,
there.
but those smokes
Yeah, this
soon
should be the round where we
evade.
see the
Safe
breach ult.
falls.
Sorry,
Okay, they need a
Brim
few
ult.
more kills though, and it's mainly up towards
Yeah,
heaven.
and does
Orbital
he have
strike
the
will be
lineup for the
pulled into
molly?
play, getting them a pick as well with Zeus falling. And the spike still needing to be defused. The smoke's no longer blocking them. Krax goes pushing, but he is caught as well. Everybody stepping up to the plate, but another fantastic
nice one,
round
though.
from Seavolf. He seems so present in
This was
these
maybe
rounds that they
yesterday's bad,
convincingly
though. I
win.
think
And now
he
6-5, 1 away from tying things up at the half.
Yeah, it was mentioned on the desk as well, like, would there be that comfort on an agent he hasn't really played? Yes,
Looks like
yes, there will be. I think good timing on the stun combination as well.
Came
with the
from
ultimate, but
YouTube
even just
to
individually.
say, why is there so many
guy
vandals in
popping off
EMEA?
13 and 6. He's
Yeah, it was thank
There you
you,
go.
bro, for the free kill.
I think, yeah, he stunned on it.
vibes looking good as
I
well.
think,
6-5. And even
I think
half
EMEA are a
possible.
little bit slow on the meta this year, just in
But
general.
still investment here for the side
Slow on
of
the Teo,
Ultimates.
slow on the Phantoms.
Not looking like they'll play much of a part in this round. Orbital Strike for Ada Captain, the one that is close, and Zeus. There's no surprise that Seavolf is watching
Slow
for
on
a
their
main. He's
defaults.
managed to dominate this portion of the map, and are even getting ready to set up a stun just to try and remove him from this
Slow on the
position
tech pauses.
deep into
Yeah.
A main
But
alongside
anymore?
the drone.
Locating targets.
And the drone being used, I'm not even sure if it's needed. I think we know the setup by this point. Zeus is on the corner. Krax is here ready with the flash. Use the stun to start with. Try to force that aggression, and oh, they're gonna wish they had that flash in a little earlier. It's gonna be
They
kept
couldn't
for
add a smoke
later
down.
on. Zeus will not
A
be.
nice
Just
smoke
put
though
in the
from
dirt
Vitality.
early on. And it looks like FUT's chances of a lead at the half may be getting buried as Vitality. They've still got
Honestly,
Seavolf
like this
up,
this
being at
little
full health, a man advantage.
this little smoke for what was going on over towards A was pretty cool. They're flashing over towards here, they block off the
30
flash.
seconds
So they
left.
all have to focus over towards main.
Towards Dish. They've got to be careful.
Probably
this
it's probably Zeus's fault
last
seeing the
position, looking to come in from behind.
seeing the smoke
Salvo's
and still
forced
playing
them
in
more
front.
into the open and hoping space can be made, and it has been. Dirk has done well. There is less. As I said, it seemed like he was completely unnoted by the opposing side, and Seavolf is there to strike once
Dude, this
again.
guy's having a great great map
Six
though.
half looking inevitable, unless we can see that clutch from Dish, which, as I said earlier, is not an easy thing to do.
No. You know, maybe if you had some utility to help you out, but just the cam, I'm not sure how much Yedaje can do with that. A Guardian in hand. and 4 players that he's up against. Super passive position, safe, waiting for salvos to come
That's a
online.
long message, but honestly, I read it all and
Aftershock in play
I'll
as
test
well.
it, I think.
So far
Best
out
way
of
to do
sight.
it.
There's no way that this can go his way. It's a stat farming round, and it turns out to be
I
just
appreciate
that
the message,
for Zerka.
Snobs.
6-6 at the half. An impressive resurgence by Vitality. Always within punching distance.
Yeah, they
in
did a
this
pretty
half,
good
but
comeback here at the end.
eyes
Though.
drawn to Sevov. What a phenomenal performance. Off the top of my head, 3-3Ks he was able to deliver here, owning the early momentum for this squad. We'll see how the second half pans out after the break.
Desp. You saw a long message, you said mod that guy. Don't read your messages. Dude, I'm telling you, as soon as it has the mod thing next to it, I'm just blind to it, man. I'm blind to long messages and you have the mod thing next to your name. There's no chance I'm ever reading your stuff. You got like the killer combo going for you. You know what it is, Desp? I think you need to change the color of your name. What's Sonya's? I can always read Sonya's stuff. You need this. You need the bright green's good. I ignore you too. I don't think I ignore you that much. Not as much as Desp. Not a chance, Weber.
Welcome back. Tied up neck and neck after the first half, Tom. Big
Prafu in the
performances
YouTube chat,
early
thank you
game
so
by
much, dude.
Zeus, but Sevov
Thank
stole
you,
the
thank
show
you.
in the end.
Unrelated
But it
to
seems like it
EMEA,
could be
the question
anyone's
for
game. This
me,
pistol,
what
they
is
hold a lot of weight.
the reported
Yeah,
joining
sure.
of
And
MCE,
we have
Ban
to
and
give that
Yeoman
additional
replacing Patrick
context again,
Elias?
for
Can GE
either of
make
these
playoffs?
sides,
Can make
the
playoffs?
loser is out.
Oh yeah.
There is no opportunity to make
Did
it
you
to
ask?
Masters.
Your expectations
The
are
next will have to
playoffs
win a game
only?
and another game
They just
if
got
they are gonna be
MCE. They're
looking to
fine.
make it to
Make
Toronto.
playoffs.
And there you go. They do love a ghost
Right?
over on that Vitality side.
Should make
is
playoffs.
the 20% just Sevov?
I would
right
back
now it is
MCE to
almost
make playoffs with
perfectly
that team.
encapsulating the stat.
He is keeping the stat exactly on par. Man, I'll tell you, if I'm going to give an upgraded pistol to anyone, it might be Sevov after
Maybe
what we
he
saw in
doesn't
that
need
first
it.
half. Exactly.
There you go.
He's too cool
Canub
for
with
it.
the Prime as well. Thank you so
Also,
much.
He wants his utility, but no, it's because he's too cool. He's playing the cool card.
Oh,
Salvo's
nice
in,
shot.
and okay, forced forward is out of
Oh my God,
captain, a little bit
Durka?
delayed to the rest of the squad. Thanks
Did
to
he
that
think
heat
someone was
zone
going to
foot.
peek it before? He just
Well, they're
tanked the
pumping the brakes
flash.
on this, hoping that Yedajay can find value in that. He does.
been good so far. Even manages to double up onto kicks as they are trying
Yeah,
to
they know that Durka has to
catch
be
him
here,
out around his
considering
own
everywhere that they
cage.
cleared.
Durka and Less. Deadliest of duos. First will come for free. A tiny tag to Durka, but still a whole lot to be found. This fight versus Anna Captain could be everything. The smoke lasting an extortionate amount of time.
No way.
Past
Timing on
each
that
other,
was
but
sick.
Anna Captain might just have the drop on his opponent. It just depends when he
Hello?
peeks around the corner, but he doesn't manage to
Oh,
land
God.
the shots. And both players now within the tower.
Oh,
The
no.
main issue is that time has been ticking. A stun available, a knife if needed, but the fact is Cracks already just looking to swing out, and with the clock already gone, there really isn't any more time for Less. It needed to be the insta-kills,
Yeah,
and in the
very,
end,
very
it's
nice.
Cracks to close.
I was a little worried after that kill, but
Got a little bit close
bad.
after the
double.
whiff in
Don't
main,
know on the
but they get
pistols.
there in the end. A pistol for FUT, and this is where they found their rounds. It was the early half of the first. It seemed like Vitality were only able to sprinkle in a little bit of resistance, but in the end, they certainly heated up. They'll start this half off cold, though, with a 1-0 deficit, and presumably a full eco coming into this one. And for the defensive side, I mean, it's tough to make that work. When we saw them on the attack, they tried to create some opportunities. They moved as a unit.
the cage,
It is more
yeah.
difficult to do that in the defensive
I mean,
side. But from what we're
I
seeing,
think
they're going to do
no
it
matter
anyways.
what day, you should be using the
Four-player
cage.
push towards north side from Dish. One holding in that aggression on the B side, but nobody there. No one's home. FUT have sent it all through
Time's
the
pretty low, though, I
standard
guess.
spawn of the south.
He wants just the straight duel.
Stun looks good. Very good. Oh,
Okay. Well,
Oh boy.
never mind.
Well, there goes this
weaponry
round.
has been absolutely
Didn't even get a
slaughtered. I don't
chance to
mind the
build it
idea
up.
of
Isn't
Vitality
eco though,
moving as
so
a unit in an attempt to try and cause a
they're
little bit
gonna
of
have
extra
full
damage,
bite,
but FUT
and
well aware. And already farming
they're gonna
up
try.
a decent amount of those orbs. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been onto the
Yeah.
LJ, but
Oh, he gets it. Nice.
you can see Les is gonna try and have a couple of his own. The main worry for me is going into the next round, you're gonna have a captain with the potential to buy up and get himself a rifle, but more importantly, if he can find this final kill, which I'm hoping Les won't allow, he would already be on his ultimate, and you're on a map where you got a good chance to collect one of those orbs anyway.
yeah, there's a couple opportunities to do that. For less, with just the classic, Zeus is pushing him. Chance for one, but not when Zeus has got that rifle in hand. Yeah, I don't think he even used the scope there. He doesn't like to.
Okay, so
Why not with
incredible
that accuracy?
bonus
It
for
is an
FUT.
in-zone
If
flawless
they want to,
coming
they can
through
go
for
get
FUT.
an orb and they
And a
can use an
2-0
orb
start
this
to the
round.
half. Very nicely done by Captain too. He's
That
under a
looks
lot
so
of pressure.
dumb.
He's got the pistol. The
He's
stun
a
comes
little
in
unlucky,
just
but-
that little bit late. That gives him the chance to pick up a double. Now though is where the real challenge begins. There you go.
They got cracks. It's not like
Yeah, big
if
things to
it
talk
was
about is
any of
Durka
the
getting
team, I'd be like, oh, that's
the-
really cool, but it's kind of just the
I mean,
fact
yeah,
that
I'm not
Cracks
surprised.
really loves KO. Although he's been playing a lot of
Durka gets
favorites.
op out,
I
no
think those are his
armor.
two. Durka, operator,
Nice shot.
doesn't have the shields, and he's just about going to get out of there. His counterpart of Zeus that was the main person to highlight in that previous half has already gone down. Mr. Fallen has just gone walking through the smoke. It seems like Les is more than aware and will be able to hold on, but not for long. The trade out eventually.
It still gets a little close on this
They're gonna
one.
go for the plant.
Atta still has one smoke, so
where
he
they
can
have
delay
rifles
somewhere
to
for
play
a
with.
long
This
time.
round might not be as easy as a normal bonus.
Yeah, it just came down now.
Salvos were used start around
No
by
one's
Save.
pushing behind. Dude, this
They'll be
isn't
online
that
soon and
easy for
probably just wait
Vitality.
for that refreshing utility to come back
I
into
think
play.
Durka needs to just switch guns and
Here we
send it.
go. Salvo's online, being lined up as we speak, but Captain, he's got a read on the timing. Stun goes in. Beautiful from Captain, disrupting the play completely. Stopwatch in their head, and now a 2 versus 3. Vitality
Dude,
stalled
this is a
out,
good
lock in
example. I
hand,
think this
and
is
that's
just
something
a
you're
good
gonna wanna carry
round
through the
to
next.
kind of sum up
They're running
Vitality
for
a
the
little
hills,
bit.
saving these weapons,
Like,
and it's
they
all
just-
thanks to Captain. The double in the
They
last
chill
round
for
was
a while,
nice, but
and
was an
it feels
empty
like
go. Sure, he had to go,
everyone
so
else
the
comes up with a
playing field
plan,
was a little more
and
level.
then
That one
they just
there,
get planned
that's
on.
got a very
Essentially,
important round
like
on
their
the
plan
board.
just feels
Yeah,
late.
and I was
Like
looking
I
at
need
the
to see a
after
swap of the
positions
gun,
for FUT,
Durka
and
send
I
it
won't lie,
in.
maybe nervous.
Yeah.
Like
More
I need to see a
because
retake.
they're
Oh
in
god, the
spots
scream
where it's like,
special.
okay, you can't
I need to see a
hide.
retake.
If you get spotted, there's absolutely
Instead we're
nothing
just
you can
chilling.
do.
We're waiting for them to get a
And
stun back.
instead, they use the stun and swing straight into it.
I don't know if you caught that in the replay, but our observers, our EVS were kind enough to catch an angle of the nade that cracks through, and well, listen, it fell apart a little bit. It fragmented
there's just
for
no
sure.
plan.
It was up
Like,
there.
how long do we
unless it was,
sit? How long do we sit with no plan here?
anti-camera setup, I think.
It felt like
No,
forever.
I think we've seen that one used by KC last year, right? It's a distraction name.
Exactly. You hear the sound cue and you think, I better get out of here.
Redgar still has nightmares.
I love that comes exactly as we're saying, like, oh, well, it's cracks on the KO. You got to have him in there. Well,
Hey.
a little bit of work to do on the lineups there.
Hot flashes, binds teammates, gets killed. That's all you need to know. He feels confident, and that's all you need from Cracks.
Yeah, he doesn't see where it lands at the end of the day unless he's paying attention to the little.
No, he's too busy headshotting people to care.
Exactly.
Durka with the operator. That's the gun we'd like to be highlighting, but looking where he
It
is
doesn't
on
look
the
like
map.
Durka will get too
And
much.
Zeus
We've got
just-
one
by the
pass
way,
and
Zeus
fake
is
over
just running
towards
it
B.
down
With
from
the
B.
smokes
He's
as
like,
well,
yeah,
so they
guys,
have
I don't
no
think they're
smokes to
gonna
hit over
rotate too
towards A.
quickly into
I
this one
think,
because
chat,
I've just thrown
sorry, FUT
all of
might
my
have
utility
overcooked
onto
this
one
one.
side of the map, but the delay's good.
They
Les has managed to buy
invested
time.
all the
Full
smokes.
rotation in. Captain is looking to try and do this once again. But already, Save has managed to do well. A single kill. I think he's even picked up a rifle in the mix of everything, but is quickly dealt with.
That
Yeah,
flash was
honestly,
actually very good, but
looks like they're
Kasivov
okay.
didn't see anyone. They don't
Dude,
go
I was
swinging out through
worried
it. They
for
don't
that.
want that
I
battle.
can't believe they invested 3.
Decide to wait a moment longer, but
3
that is their
smokes into
downfall
the
in
fake.
that duel. Durka will save this weapon again. At least he'll try.
They had the perfect
And you
crossfire.
can see how quickly FUT are
Did a
pushing
couple
into
of
the spawn,
oversteps, but
realizing
I don't know what the
he's gonna
comms are
wanna
like
carry
over
this
towards
forward.
B to say they
Now,
committed all
only
the
one
smokes.
player's got the right
They
read.
should, they at least, I
It's
mean,
Mr.
they
Fallen.
honestly, they should
Right
hear them all.
place, but is it right time with Durka holding the angle? He's walking right into it.
Oh,
A
dude,
free
this guy's gonna
pickup.
get hunted
They
down.
hasten
They
their
got
pace
so much
towards the
money.
spawn. They'll catch him. He's going to be trapped inside of main. Crossing out. They'll catch him as he does, and the angle's
Very,
good.
very
Both swinging
nice.
at the same time. Patience.
Imagine they don't want the
display.
op, but you never
no
know.
weapon saved for Durka. The big gun remains on the floor, unpicked by FUT. 10-6. We talked about the pistol being valuable, but this start to the half for
Yeah,
FUT,
that's a nuts entry though.
Fuming. You just. I love the fact that Zeus literally has no fear. Like, I think that is why this works so well with Mr. Fallen, because I think Mr. Fallen has always been a creative and intelligent IGL. Like, someone who I love watching the games they play, sometimes because it's insane, and sometimes because it's genius. He's on the fine line. But the thing that works with him and Zeus is he'll say, Zeus, I want you to run through 15 pieces of utility, slide and headshot. Someone goes, okay, boss, see you later, unless it's dead on the site. And that's the main, even though you've got other like weapons like the operator, I think Safe even managed to get a rifle because of that. The main danger was all of that Cypher utility, but it's eliminated immediately just from that guy diving into the site.
A timeout called by Vitality because this start to the half has been so scary from FUT. The 4-0 beginning, the op taken out of play for Vitality coming into this one as well, and that's somewhere that they found those early picks with. Can't allow this to spiral too much further. A real opportunity for them if Vitality were able to take it here. I think this is how they won kickoff as well, right? It was map 5 up against Liquid in the grand final. They managed to take it in the end.
They had a lot of momentum. That was what seemed to change within that series.
I mean, Last Row go at it.
It's been a little while since we've seen that
Last Row go at it, and they don't even.
Vitality. Right now,
I mean, no one has ults for that.
Definitely having a bit more of a rough time on the individual front, and you look at FUT, and that's not the case. We mentioned that maybe the LG had a captain who had quieter performances. In this map, they've been fantastic. I think you exclude the first 3 rounds, and they're top of the board.
Yeah. Scary signs. And FUT not looking to slow down anytime soon. If they win this round, it's the home stretch with Vitality stalling out in the early half of the defense.
I think Crashies has a chance to get an NA tier 1 next year. I mean, if he wants to. Looks like he's pretty happy. I think he's done a good job of proving that he wasn't the issue in the old NRG.
Flash catches him. Beautiful
Dude,
work
such a
from
nice
Mr.
flash
Fallen.
on this.
And
It
he
was a great
follows up
run
with
from
the
Mr.
kill
Fallen.
onto Kicks too. Less Safe and Seavoff, they've got it all to do, and money's not great. The chances aren't looking fantastic. They might want to consider a save at this point.
They've got to be nervous of the post-spawn as well. They could literally be anywhere. The way the FUT have been playing is so aggressive that you can even see just the nerves. There's 15 angles.
It's like, are we saving? We're just chilling. We're just chilling. Someone take control of these rounds, I beg.
Utility this round, it was irrelevant. 4 kills for him, 11 onto the board, and it does seem like Vitality are just almost completely flabbergasted by the sheer pace of some of these rounds coming out from FUT. They are showing their opponents no respect whatsoever.
Ultimately, it comes down to someone like Mr. Fallen in that round when we talk about utility. Krax was the one running in, gunning them down, but Mr. Fallen, he had those flashes. We saw it from his his opponent's POV in that initial fight onto Durka. He came out with, I think, 4 assists in that round, helping Krax every single step of the way. That's what himself and Adicap do so well
as well, but like,
not anymore.
Yeah, do you now ult when you are on 58 HP? Probably not. It's one of the ones where you can kind of throw it in and it's not the end of the world, but that's got to be infuriating. They really don't have much to play with. And with FUT. Wow, you have to
Prafu again, thank you so much. Thank you. We've got KO over towards site. The same side where the Cypher is. Don't even have an anti-KO set up.
Well, Les is no longer on the site. And he's got no utility.
Maybe they thought they weren't going to use it into an eco, I guess is the argument. Oh, it's a lie. They did have an anti-KO setup. I take it all back.
Unlikely to be committed, and you can see why he's dealt with so quickly.
They just had camera here, right?
Good stun, but they can't follow up on it because there's 2 more players on the angle holding for that peak. The opportunities being given away are slim to none. I mean, I do see
would have an anti-KO setup on Fracture. It's not hard there. Like, they went for the best one.
There's 2 players on the site with that bit more of a passive
Kill
hold,
trips over towards B always more likely.
Sometimes peeking out wide as Krax just gets punished, but you know, even economy management.
Let me read this. The ambition of Plesgy is not high, but after their last showing, okay, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's fair.
They will be good to go for
yeah, it is a little bit like that, to be fair. You gotta, I like that you're being realistic. No, I think they can get playoffs though, man. MC is a really good pickup for them.
Comfortable
Yeah,
conversion.
he knows what he's done.
I think other than Zeus, who is on 4,500 credits, everybody else hit max that round, so they are in an incredibly good position. And finally, clearly the game plan was to get that operator on Durka as soon as possible. Well, this will be that addition brought into the round. Hasn't really found too much other than the opening pick onto Zeus. We'll see if he can get something here, but immediately smoked off the angle so they can flash through it.
Oh, it's nasty. The double flashes too, but Kicks still manages to walk away with one. The
Good luck,
trades, though,
Durka.
are there as the op steps into
Nice
play. Durka lands himself one. Ult activated, throwing everything at this one. And he'll
That's a
lose
nice
his
shot
life
from Krax, though.
immediately. A
Gotta give him
connection
that.
from Krax that maybe doesn't level the playing field. See, there's info to play with on the other side. With the hat off Les's head and the spike down in the open, there's almost no choice for FUT but to run into this angle. Mr. Fallen has his ultimate. Don't know if they'll commit it at this point or write this round off and play
Like,
for the next. They
yeah,
know
I
they're
mean,
still up
he
against an op
should
where
have
they could
chilled,
be.
but he
Saves the
also,
one to retrieve
like,
it.
with how he reacted, I'm pretty sure he thought they were, like, close
checking
here,
this out on
committing
the
over
flank.
towards the site.
I know the Cypher must have been around here somewhere. That's where all the bodies lie, but maybe still a little nervous for where Safe is sitting. Vitality know that Spike was on the deck, unless they're gonna have a rough idea that he's around the sand area. But that time now ticking. Safe already honed in on the site. They could try and hightail it back, but that clock is getting far too low. They need to make a move, and the crossfire setup should make it impossible. They are well aware of Les's position,
nice
but
hand
he'll
from him.
find both anyway. A round finally in
5
this
chances
second
left.
half for the side of Vitality, but Mitch, they need 5 more.
They do, and the problem is FUT not committing that Rolling Thunder. It means it's online for an immediate execution in this one. They put a lot of stock in those double flashes. KOs, blinding main, and breaches going deeper into sand. But Kicks was able to dodge them.
Keeper,
They trade out the
what are
early
you doing?
fights. And then in the end, Les's position proves to be superior. The reality is, that's a damn close round, and not something that you'll be confident that you can connect another 5 in a row
Mate,
to
you're
push
literally
it overtime.
mods.
We need to see another level reached by Vitality, one that hasn't been hit so far in this half.
I love that. You put all of your utility to try and control B main, and Zeus just runs through everything. Means there's been no push, there can be no
Good idea,
control.
man.
Now at least the defense has been able to take a bit of control towards A main. That's where Durka is posted with the operator, and they've also done the same in the arcade. A similar setup to what we saw from FUT. It does, however, look like FUT are just waiting.
Okay, it's
Watching
looking
for
like
that
the
aggression,
classic.
allowing time for
Breach short over
Yedeje
towards
to
site.
slowly move up on A, take that disc control and potentially have a late flank, but with that Rolling Thunder available, again, I like the positions that the defense have chosen.
Comes the big push, Molly up top, it's safe.
No,
He's the
wait,
second
wait,
player
what is
in the
that? A little
setup.
jump
Big
peek?
swing around the
Dude,
back,
jump
but
peek
Les
into the
gets
flash?
nothing.
That's sick.
And now this becomes
little tech
very
they
troublesome
do.
indeed. If they get the plant
I'm not
here,
even mad at that from
Rolling
Vitality,
Thunder
that's awesome
for
from FUT.
post-plant Zeus.
The hell is that one?
Actually the one looking for the plant. Instead it's going towards Ada Captain.
They baited
It's
it.
just a bait to start. Rolling Thunder used up as Yedeje is running it down. Information in play. They know exactly where Durka is. No smokes to block him off, but no need to peek him either. And going running in there with the op with no ult to fall back on, it's not going to look too pretty. He's going to take down 5 players. In fact, he's only got 4 shots in his magazine. This one looking like it's
He's like,
too tall a
surely this
task
guy's
to ask.
underpass.
It's 3 players lined up in a firing squad. Yedeje, the safety in this play, to swing in and close it out. Just moments away from connecting
very
their
nice.
own map pick,
I mean, just a
13-7,
diff on this map
and
for sure.
momentum
Double
in
pistol
FUT's
helps a
favor as
little
they
bit,
move on to
no
split.
doubt about it.
Yeah,
But
a fantastic attack side. The sheer pace.
dude, I just want to see decisiveness from Vitality. I feel like it just haunts them. No one makes plans, and it's just there's just no plans. Does someone call something? Give me a plan. Blazing Czar, thanks so much for the prime. Appreciate that. Thank you.